Welcome everybody. I'm Scott Quillinen, Senior Director for the School of Energy Senior Director of Research for the School of Energy Resources. If you're not familiar with the school, we are that building that sits between geology and the engineering building. And we're focused on energy economic development for the state of Wyoming. So we do that through three different pillars: research, outreach, and academics. So I'll pause there and pass it over to, actually, let me say one more word. Today, or actually just yesterday, we started a new hydrogen energy research center, and Eugene Holubniak is our new director, first day. So for the students out there interested in hydrogen, please cruise through the building, meet Eugene. We'd love to hear more about what you're working on. And let me stop talking there and pass it over to you, Glenn.
Thanks, Scott. I'm Glenn Morrell. I'm the Executive Director of the Wyoming Energy Authority. For those of you who don't know, the Energy Authority has been around for about 1.5 years now, and we exist as a small agency. We exist to really act as a coordinating hub for all activities within the state related to energy, whether it's production or transmission or consumption. One of the big roles we play is to develop and administer the energy strategy for the state. And the strategy is broad, and there's a lot in there, and I could spend an hour talking about it. But one thing that we have a great deal of focus on is becoming a net zero economy over the next 20 or 30 years or so. And the reason we're doing that is really linked back to consumer demand and the increasing demand for low emissions energy. On the background of that overall objective, we have 3 initiatives that are all focused on that overall objective in general. CCUS is a very big part of what we're trying to promote within the state. Advanced reactor technologies and deployment is another big one. And perhaps the most topical or most interesting at this present time is hydrogen. And hydrogen represents an incredible potential for the state with respect to having an energy carrier that can be decarbonized. That really unlocks our rich hydrocarbon resources as well as our renewables resources, so that we can continue to utilize them and power the nation with a tremendous energy supply moving forward. Really exciting news recently. We just entered a 4-state agreement to pursue infrastructure funds to build hydrogen hub in the greater sort of Mountain West area, collaboration with Colorado, Utah, and New Mexico. We've released RFPs to promote hydrogen production in the state. More than a year ago, the school, of course, has stood up a hydrogen center. A lot of potential, a lot of interest, and a lot of excitement about pursuit of hydrogen in our future. With that, I'll stop talking as well, Scott, and hand it back to you, I guess, or on to Rob.
All right, thank you, Glenn. And of course, Wyoming Energy Authority is one of the sponsors of this student prize. So really appreciate you showing up today and your sponsorship. Rob, Baker Hughes is the other sponsor for this project. Let me turn it over to you.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, great. So yeah, we're very excited to be partnering with both the School of Energy Resources and the Wyoming Energy Authority to ask the students for all their great ideas around hydrogen. So we're looking for the big ideas. Most excitingly, we're putting out cash prizes for the best ideas out there. And who can go after this? Well, it's the students. So we're looking for all UW undergraduate and graduate students. We're looking for students across many different disciplines. And the team size too, we're looking for you to grab a friend. We're very excited to offer this across all majors, like I mentioned. So if you have a friend that's in a different discipline or has a different point of view, we're really open to how we all view energy differently. So whether your friend is looking to be a teacher in the future, whether your friend is a business major, maybe you're engineering. So we really want to have a different view of energy and what energy means to us, and really collect those ideas and have different perspectives. So we're opening the competition today, of course, with the info session. Feel free to reach out to myself or Scott if questions arise after this. And then we're targeting a proposal submission deadline on April 1st. And hopefully it's a very easy and lightweight opportunity for you to get your ideas down on paper. And then also we will have more details if you click on this link or go to that link, and you'll find more information about the contest itself. There's some boilerplate templates that I'll show that you can use to get your idea down on paper, and how to get through the submission process and who to contact. So really, this is what we want this to be is easy. We want it to be simple. We want it to be fun. Like I said, if you win, you get to keep the money. But the more potential on top of this, if we really want to take those ideas that you have and bring them to the next level. So if you have a great idea, we want to talk to you more. We want to understand, how do we take that idea and how do we give you more money to go out and bring that to reality. So like I said, 2 to 6 people in a team, focus on cross discipline, grab your friends. And then the submission is just 5 pages, max 5 pages. The cover page, we have a boilerplate template for that. Asks you some different questions about just really that you're a student in good standing with the university. There's the title page, just saying who you are, what's the title of the project, and then the statement of purpose. So what's your idea? What's an overview of it? What's your project look like? Also asked to include a resume or a CV. Tell us who you are. We want to see your background. We also like to look at resumes because we're always hiring too. I know we're looking for field engineers in Wyoming, and we can always use more field engineers, especially as the energy industry grows in Wyoming itself. And optional, you can get a faculty member on board. So really important, I think, to talk to a faculty member. They can review your idea. They can help you maybe think a little bit differently in context around hydrogen too, and what you're looking at, and give you some good feedback maybe to high grade your idea and what a potential research project looks like. I did want to talk a little bit about Baker Hughes. A lot of people know who we are and a lot of people don't. Baker Hughes, we're an energy technology company. We span across over 100 different countries where we conduct business, and we're really large. We have about 54,000 employees. And we segment our business out from oil field services and oil field equipment, where a lot of people know us. But we do have a lot of standing business in turbo machinery and process solutions. So we make things such as gas turbines and compression systems to utilize things like hydrogen or compressed hydrogen and move it on pipelines. And then we have a portfolio of digital solutions where we start to think about sensors and overall control systems and how we make systematic approaches across the value chain. I do want to mention, though, that Baker Hughes is beyond oil and gas. We do a lot of different things. So many people contribute the name of Baker Hughes to drilling and oil field services, but we do have a lot of technologies. We are looking into inspection of electric vehicles and the battery systems that we have there. We have remote monitoring for wind-based farms and looking at how to diagnose different issues when it comes to the blade monitoring. We also have emissions monitoring. We have a suite of CO2 capture solutions as well. So we do offer a lot of different things. And I think as I'll touch on the hydrogen side of things, there's a lot of technology that we have, and there's a lot of technology that we don't have. So we're looking at what are those big ideas? What is some of the emerging technologies, and how do we apply those in the hydrogen space? I work at the Baker Hughes Innovation Center. We're a very diverse group when it comes to our generations, genders, and also skill sets. We are at the tip of the spear when it comes to applying disruptive technology, whether that's edge computing and automation, applying large multi-physics-based simulations and creations of digital twins into our industry, advances in machine learning and computer vision and applications in inspection, but also how we start to use advances in additive manufacturing. And in fact, that's one of the projects we're already working with the University of Wyoming with the Department of Energy at the moment. So why hydrogen? I think it's an opportunity for us to think about how to look at a zero carbon way of a very robust energy resource. Hydrogen can be generated in many different ways, whether it's using renewables or nuclears or fossil, along with carbon capture, utilization, and storage. We could think about how we store hydrogen in different ways, whether it's underground hydrogen, or we're looking at pump storage capabilities as well. And then the utilization of hydrogen, whether it's on the transportation side or as a feedstock in different industries, or converted into power as we empower the industrial sector as well. For Baker Hughes, we have a large portfolio of projects or portfolio of products across the value chain. On the left-hand side here, we have services when it comes to subsurface modeling and monitoring for hydrogen and storage. We have flexible pipelines for last mile distribution, gas turbines when we think about utilization of hydrogen and combustion of hydrogen, and also our different compressor line when we're moving hydrogen across pipelines and across the country. So we have a large portfolio of products that play into the hydrogen industry. But we're always looking for what else is out there, what else can we make, what else can we invent, or how can we use this in a different way. So I think going back to why are we doing this competition, as a technologist myself, we have lots of different ideas, but we know the next generation also has great ideas. Today we don't have all of the technology. We're still developing technology. If we want to get to net zero as a company and as a state and as a country and a world, we know there's a lot of technologies that we need to invent. We need to be very thoughtful and diverse in the minds that come together. Although our reliance on hydrocarbons, I don't think will disappear. We need to think about efficiency in the process and the whole hydrogen value chain that I showed before. But more, like I said, partnership and collaboration is key. So this is why Baker Hughes is working with Wyoming Energy Authority and the University of Wyoming to understand, hey, how do we come together? How do we get ideas? And how do we work collectively together and mature and create more mature technologies and bring them out into the market that we don't have today? So I just kind of wanted to end it on some thought-provoking questions on maybe where do we go from here. I don't have all the answers. I hope people come up with great ideas over this competition. Like I mentioned, it's open to anybody and everybody. We're very mindful not just on technology, but how do we educate the next generation? So if you're a teacher out there and you want to understand how do we teach a kindergarten class about hydrogen, if you have a great idea on education, we would love to hear that. We would love to hear how do you produce hydrogen more responsibly and integrate carbon capture utilization into the mix. How do we integrate hydrogen into our existing energy supply chain, whether that's in pipelines and blending of hydrogen with natural gas and moving that across the country. We're interested in how do you apply disruptive technologies when we think about the fourth industrial revolution of blockchain, computer vision, edge computing, AI, ML, and robotics. And then we're looking at the business majors too, and how do we monetize, sell, or trade energy differently than we do it today. Anyone else thinking about policies and how we should what we should put in place to help, even other potential uses for process in the process and byproducts, even to the extent of, is there an app for that? Maybe there's an app out there that we need to put on our iPhone that we check every day when it comes to hydrogen, or how we think about it, or how we think about trading energy, or I think the use cases for applications and how we go more direct to consumer are always there. And then even with the latest craze in the metaverse, is the energy industry there? So just really want to think about, it's not just engineers that we're looking for. here. We're looking for everybody across the university, and want everybody to think about energy differently, specifically here hydrogen. But with that, this is kind of where I wanted to leave it, and open it up for questions, and hopefully this will spur more ideas, and even leave it up for Scott and Glenn or Eugene to say anything else.
Thanks, Rob. I have just another thought-provoking question to add to your list there for the students on the call, is the question or the issue of water. Hydrogen production, regardless of which route you take, whether it's from a hydrocarbon base or a renewable base, uses a fair amount of water, and that is, in the greater Western region, that's going to be a challenge, regardless of which state or regardless of which feedstock you're using. So add that to your list of interesting challenges or interesting aspects of the hydrogen economy that we're going to have to address.
All right, thank you, Rob. Great presentation. Let's open it up for questions. Students, any questions for Rob? Or for Glenn, for that matter?
Hi, yeah, I have a question for Rob. So I was looking into Baker Hughes a little bit, and I know that it's investing in solid oxide electrolyzers. I was just wondering if they're also interested in PEM electrolysis as well.
PEM, could you expand upon that?
Just the method of electrolyzer to get the hydrogen from the water. Just a different method using the membrane. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, if we're not in the technology, this competition is open to anything. So if it's a technology that we're not already in, we're open to that. If there's a new and novel way that you think about generating hydrogen, those are the ideas that we want to hear about. So it's not things that we have today. It's about things that we don't have, or how does that technology pair with our existing portfolio as well.
Okay, cool. And then also, what so is all the cover page, title page, CV recommendation, how much of that is involved in like the 5 pages submission?
Yeah, so the going back up here, 5 pages is going to be the total of the cover page, title page, and the statement of purpose. I believe the 1-page CV does not count towards that. And if there's an appendix, I think it was up to 2 pages, can be documents, including any figures that you want to include outside of that main body.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Other questions? Rob, you're gonna be let off the hook easy today.
Well, if there's any other questions, feel free to email me. Like I mentioned, to the overall document in the link, it's pretty, I think, it's pretty light. I'm looking at it now. There's 4 pages in there. And yeah, the appendix, 2-page maximum, that can include any figures or references you want. So you don't have to go to 5-page maximum. You can do 3 pages. It should be pretty straightforward and lightweight. So hopefully you could get it done in a couple hours if you really had the time and effort to get it done. That's really what we're looking for.
What font and spacing size do we use, or can we just cram it all into like 11 one space?
Yeah, I think we specify a 12-point font and 1.0 spacing when it comes to the overall section of the statement of purpose. So 12 point. It's also included in the application form.
Christina just put that in the chat. Christine, remind us how and where these applications are sent when they're complete.
Yes, so once they're complete, if you can compress them all into one single PDF document, and then they'll be sent to our administrative person in the School of Energy Resources. The email is psteger, so Psteger. It's on the website, but I can also throw it in on here too, and then she will collect those and get them to the selection team.
All right, any last closing questions? Please feel free to reach out to me if you have questions, or to Rob. Happy to hear from you. And Rob, I just on behalf of the School of Energy Resources, I just want to say thank you to Baker Hughes and your sponsorship of this program. It's really neat to just fund or get some ideas out there around this space. So I really appreciate it. Glenn, same to you. All right, with that, let's close. And this will be posted on the website for others that weren't able to join us.